Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. My name is Damon Brown. I'm at damonbrown.net. And my main thing is that I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm a one-on-one coach. And my main thing is helping non-traditional entrepreneurs bloom. That means if you're a side hustler, if you're a solopreneur, if you're trying to create something from scratch and you're not sure what to do next because your resources might seem limited or you might seem undervalued or the people around you don't necessarily appreciate where you're going and you need that support. I'm here to help you on your journey. I've been doing that for several years, and my 25th book is actually about to come out. It's called Build From Now: How to Know Your Power, See Your Abundance, and Nourish the World. It's this nice lime green. It's so awesome. I'm so excited about it. This is my physical copy. I just got this in the mail. It's actually going to be available on January 28th at all available stores. So come through and get it. Again, it's called Build From Now. And it's about how you can use your different resources. We all have 4 different resources. We have focus, we have agility, we have time, and we have energy. I call them the fates. And depending on where you are personally and professionally, you're going to have different strengths. If you go to buildfromnowquiz.com, again, that's buildfromnowquiz.com, then you'll be able to come through, take this free, super short quiz. I think it's like three or four questions, and you can get some insight as far as what your biggest strength is right now and how you can maximize it. With where things are right now, there's a good time to figure out what your main strengths are. So Build From Now comes out on January 28th. And then the precursor is called Bring Your Worth, which is actually the name of my publishing company. And this is the precursor to Build From Now. And it's about knowing your particular worth within the world. And how can you really make an impact in the world if you don't know why you're trying to make an impact on the world or what you can actually offer it. So really important readings. I appreciate all the good feedback, and all the good pre-orders that have come through and all the support. This came out about a year and a half ago, and it was so much good stuff. I so appreciate it. So good stuff. So much good stuff. But what the highlight is for today is the one that started this business journey for me. It's called The BiteSized Entrepreneur. This is actually the compilation called The Ultimate BiteSized Entrepreneur. I'd recommend this because it has all 3 books in the best-selling BiteSized Entrepreneur series. The BiteSized Entrepreneur, I can't talk today. The BiteSized Entrepreneur series came out or began when I became a dad for the first time. And I was a stay-at-home dad, still am. I was a stay-at-home dad. And my wife went back to work. And at the exact same time, I became an entrepreneur. And I'm doing 2 startups while taking care of our first baby, which was awesome. And then the second startup got really big quickly. It was called Cuddler, Cuddlr. I talk about it in the book. And we had 250,000 users within the first few months. We ended up selling the application. I think it was about a year. Just under a year after we started. It was bootstrapped. We went for it. It was so much fun. I talk about all those lessons in this book. I'm going to talk about the BiteSized Entrepreneur, the first one, the original, again, bestseller that came out in August of 2016. That talks about those experiences and what I learned and how I came up with the idea that people that didn't fit into the norm of entrepreneurship were actually going to be the future. So again, I'm African-American. I'm a little bit older than the people that I met in Silicon Valley. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm happily married, house with a white picket fence. And I was able to get my app acquired within the first year that myself and my co-founders created it. And so this talks about those tactics and saying we are the vanguard, and the vanguard essentially is becoming the norm. And so Ultimate BiteSized Entrepreneur, it has all the books in there, which is the BiteSized Entrepreneur, the original one, the Productive BiteSized Entrepreneur, and the Balanced BiteSized Entrepreneur, as well as bonus content. So if you're going to go for it, go for the ultimate. But we're going to be talking about the original today. And I haven't done this in a very long time because obviously we're sheltering in place. But I would love to do a live reading of a couple of the chapters from it. And 4 years later, there's still some strong relevance there. And I hope you enjoy it. So there's 2 chapters we're going to talk about very briefly in the BiteSized Entrepreneur. The first one is called Going Public. This is one of my favorite chapters. This is chapter 10, again, in the original BiteSized Entrepreneur, and then you can get in the Ultimate BiteSized Entrepreneur. And if you like hearing things read to you, then you can go for it and get the audiobook, which has also been very popular among all the people in the audience. Going Public. Recognition does not equal success. I'll never forget when my journalism law professor, the late Richard Schwarzschild, recommended I get E.B. White's The New Journalism. I was halfway through Northwestern's prestigious magazine publishing graduate program and realized I didn't want to publish magazines. I wanted to write. Go find The New Journalism, he said with a pat, and you'll see what's possible. Published in 1973, The New Journalism had excerpts from edgy nonfiction writers who incorporated fiction techniques from unparalleled effect. Tom Wolfe, Joan Didion, and Gay Talese were among them and are still considered literary giants today. I slept with the book under my pillow. What is it, sweetheart?
Can I listen to music?
No, not right now. We're not doing the iPad right now. Thank you. Can you close the door? See, just like a real reading. Waiting for the audience to come in the back. The most outrageous contributor was Hunter S. Thompson, the scoundrel who got in deep with the Hells Angels, revealed Southern racism in the Kentucky Derby, and truly exposed the dark side of Las Vegas. He consistently reported while being drunk and high and antisocial. He also was a master of words. To the untrained eye, it would be easy to assume that the former somehow enabled the latter. That would be a lie. When Hunter S. Thompson died of apparent suicide in 2005, one of his most shared quotes was from an old 1974 Playboy magazine interview. He said, "One day you just don't appear at the El Adobe bar anymore. You shut the door, paint the windows black, rent an electric typewriter, and become the monster you always were, the writer." In other words, behind Thompson's drunken binges and crazy partying was sober work. It was always work. It will always be work. Work is behind everything. Today, it isn't necessarily cocaine sniffs and tequila chasers. It is tweeting about the next novel you're going to do when you haven't written the last 5 books you've talked about. It is launching a Kickstarter campaign for something you know you don't have the passion to follow through on. It is networking at conferences, at parties, and at coffee shops about your brilliant idea that you should have started literally years ago. It is the flash before the fire, the dessert before the main course. It is cheating. We worry about selling out for security or big bucks, but the most dangerous selling out is you removing the work and soaking in the fun and the accolades that are supposed to be the reward for that very work. There is mounting scientific proof that saying that you are going to do something and getting props for it taps the same part of your brain that recognizes reward for actually doing it. In other words, you could lose the motivation to achieve your goal simply because you've already gotten the reward for it, recognition. The results are sad. It is a drunk journalist who doesn't know how to ask questions. It is a potential writer posting endlessly about the new book he should be drafting. And it is the wannabe entrepreneur publicizing an app that they haven't even started developing. What they fail to understand is that the real spoils aren't recognition, awards, or money, but growth, insight, and impact. And that only comes with work. There's no hack to that. Yes, sweetheart.
Can I do content?
No, you cannot do any apps right now. Yep,
Can
you
I
can
not-
go. Watch out for the wire. Pay attention. You should go. You should go.
I need you to type in the past.
No,
to
you
comment.
don't need to do anything, honey. There you go. Why don't you read a book? You have the 3 books downstairs. Read one of those. Close the door, please. Close the door, please. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. So that one was actually called Going Public. Again, one of my favorite chapters that I've written. And I love speaking out loud from the whole series. And so thank you for enjoying that one. And hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm assuming you enjoyed it. I enjoyed saying it. Again, this is from, the original one is from the original BiteSized Entrepreneur, which I have on the shelf somewhere up here. And that's a white cover. If you're listening on Amazon, you'll see it in the comments. And then it's actually included in the Ultimate BiteSized Entrepreneur. Both of them are available on all the digital platforms, including Kindle. They're available paperback, wherever books are sold, and they're also available in audiobook, specifically through Audible and through other platforms, actually as the new year begins. So I'm excited to talk about that once that occurs. So good stuff. So going public. What that means is that you can get the clout, particularly nowadays, for doing something without actually doing it. I can go on any social media and say, I'm going to do a keynote talk, or I'm going to become a business owner one day, or I'm going to become an author, and talk about it. And people will be like, yeah, that's great. Or yeah, I can't wait to buy it. I'm ready for it, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't have to actually do it. And I think it's really important, if you're going to make an impact on the world, that you do it in a way where you actually make an impact on the world. You just don't get the clout for it. Like, I've spoken at TED 4 times, from the main TED second stage, which is up in Vancouver, to various TEDx's across the country. I've become a best-selling author a few times. And as I mentioned, I've been an entrepreneur twice and sold my second company. There are props, as they call it, and accolades that come with that. However, those are earned. I got that as a side effect of trying to nourish the world, versus that being the reason for me doing it, which is so important. Such a key aspect of it. So that's one of the big things I talk about in the BiteSized Entrepreneur. Again, the original one, and then grab the ultimate if you want the entire series for a good price. All right, so the second one I'm going to do is called Scary Vacations, which is very relevant since the person I'm highlighting in here is in the news as we speak. Chapter 17, Scary Vacations. Never stopping isn't a sign of strength, but of fear. Legendary entrepreneur Elon Musk recently shared a private issue with the press. He's afraid of taking a break. He is quoted as saying, "The first time I took a week off, the Orbital Sciences rocket exploded and Richard Branson's rocket exploded. In that same week, the second time I took a week off, my rocket exploded. Lesson here is don't take a week off." It may be a brilliantly logical man showing his superstitious side, but his phobia of vacations echoes what many of us believe. You cannot afford to stop. Evidence now shows that you cannot afford not to stop. But there are many other reasons why you believe you can't have and don't deserve a break. Number one, you don't have the actual structure in place to take a break. Have you enabled your business enough so that you can actually be unavailable for a few days? Very few of us have. It goes beyond vacation, though. Personally, unexpected health issues and family emergencies have put my own work at a standstill. Enabling coworkers, subordinates, even our own brain trust is key to feeling better about taking a break. It also requires putting the ego aside and realizing that denying yourself time to recharge doesn't equate, quote unquote, crushing it as an entrepreneur. Number two, you fear competitors will quickly leave you in the dust. Often in our minds, competitors are no-dose snorting freaks of nature that never rest. They're just waiting for us to pause so they can take the lead. Even the noblest professions have a ruthless edge, but stopping can actually give our minds the chance to create the strategy we need to actually win. Sorry, about 5 extra actuallys there. The greatest entrepreneur of our generation, Steve Jobs, took infamously long walk breaks. Stopping often prevents us from tinkering too much on our products. Finally, we are less likely to go to extreme thinking and ruin what we've spent so much time building. Number three, you're afraid of facing what you've left behind. Startups can easily demand all of our time, to the point where many of us have given up on having any type of healthy social or family life. But what happens when your business closes and you have to have a successful exit? You have nothing else to focus on but your life outside of work. It's a scary thought, especially if there's a trail of broken promises and strained relationships laying in your ambitious wake. Unfortunately, avoiding personal conflicts just prolongs, if not exacerbates, the issues that aren't being addressed. Facing those demons is akin to the popular proverb about planting trees. The best time to do it would have been 20 years ago. The second best time to do it would be today. When is the last time you actually stopped? That's the Ultimate Bite-Sized Entrepreneur. Originally in the original Bite-Sized Entrepreneur. Both of them are available now at all your favorite platforms. I don't know what they are. Platforms, stores, whatever we want to call it. And it's been such a good experience. That was actually my first major book in the business realm. It became a bestseller on Amazon and other platforms. And it was such a good, reassuring moment to know that I was giving to the world the way that I could do it best. And I thank y'all for that. And so I look forward to sharing more of my previous books in upcoming live streams. Again, my upcoming book is called Build From Now, How to Know Your Power, See Your Abundance, and Nourish the World. And that is available on January 28th. Again, if you're interested in it, check out the buildfromnowquiz.com. That's build from now. Got a mirror image here. Buildfromnowquiz.com. You can take a short free quiz. It's like 3 or 4 multiple choice questions. You can find out if your main strength right now is focus, agility, time, or energy. And based on that, you can build from now and build your best self and nourish the world in an amazing way. Again, my name is Damon Brown, and remember to always bring your worth and that you can always build from now. You guys take care.